So how much do sprockets really make a difference on a WR250R in a 0 to 60 acceleration test? So I have two WR250Rs. My legacy WR250R about 2 years ago, and it's fitted with a 1349 sprocket combination with 17-inch Warp 9 Supermoto wheels. I also bought Cycle Cruise's WR250R last year, and that's equipped with a 1347 sprocket tooth combination with a dirt wheel setup of 21 in the front and 18 in the back. On the previous video, I did 2 tests, 6 runs each bike. Here you can see the results of those tests. And what I did is I calculated 3 types of averages. The straight average, so I thought by taking the high and low and taking the average of those, and also the 3 best times and taking the average of those would be a pretty good kind of analytical approach. So by far, Cycle Cruise's WR250R is undeniably faster.
That's why, legit, Cycle Cruise's WR250R is faster than my legacy WR250R, and I'm okay with that.
So in this video, I wanted to run more tests to answer, does the sprockets make a difference on the WR250R acceleration tests? And if so, how much do 2 teeth really make a difference? And here's my approach. Like I said before, I have a batch of timings with a 49 tooth rear sprocket on my legacy WR250R Supermoto. It was subject to me as a new rider, just getting used to doing 0 to 60 accelerations. So I wanted to get a fresh set of timings on my legacy WR250R with a 49 tooth Sumo wheels. And here is my legacy WR250R Supermoto the day I took it out for new tests. Remember, this has the 49 tooth sprocket in the rear. And here I'm starting to do one of the 6 test runs. I ended up logging 5 runs. I thought I had 6, but I fouled up in the numbering. In any case, I'm taking the averages anyhow. This was a slight improvement from the initial tests, and it also reconfirms that Cycle Cruiser's stock and tuned WR250R is still faster. All right, for this batch, I had to put a 47 tooth sprocket on the 21 18-inch dirt wheel setup. Then swap it with the 17-inch Supermoto wheels on my legacy WR250R with the Athena big bore kit. I was able to get 6 timings this time. Now that my 17-inch Warp 9 Supermoto wheels are removed, for shits and giggles, I took the Supermoto wheels with the 47 tooth sprocket and put it on Cycle Cruiser's WR250R. I was able to collect 6 test results. For the last test, I would need to remove the 17-inch Warp 9 Supermoto wheels from Cycle Cruises and then put them back on the legacy WR250R and then test again. And for this last batch, I was able to collect 6 timings with a straight average 0 to 60 on my legacy WR250R with the Athena big bore kit and the 1347 tooth Supermoto wheel combination. Came in at 9.4, the fastest time being 9 seconds. And there you have it. I think I took more tests than I needed, but there's a full view of everything I have. So I think now I can really answer the question, does the sprocket setup really make a difference? If you look at these tests, I have 2 timings with the same bike. My legacy WR250R with Supermoto wheels has a couple test runs, one with the 49 tooth sprocket setup and the other with a 47 tooth sprocket setup. If we look at the 3 calculated averages between those 2 tests, we can see that on the whole, the 49 tooth sprocket setup was quicker off the line. How much quicker? Well, marginally quicker if you just look at the straight average and the average by just removing the high and low samples. And I'd admit there's some noise in this data. So I did have some slow starts and I did miss some gears on some of those runs, but I also had some good runs. For that reason, I think looking at the 3 best timings and taking the average of those, it shows that the 49 tooth sprocket was about 5% faster than the 47 tooth sprocket setup. So that alone, one can conclude, yes, 2 teeth does make a difference. In other words, more teeth in the rear gives you more torque, which gives you better jump off the line, which makes sense. Your acceleration should be faster. How much faster? At best, 5%. So that was a lot of work for, honestly and frankly, something that physics can just explain, but given these COVID times, I'm just trying to make riding more challenging and more interesting. I'd honestly be out riding rather than making PowerPoint presentations. So So that's the end of this vid. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more tests, but I thought this was an interesting, unscientific approach to answering a common question around the WR250R. Hope you enjoyed it.